Animes, typically TV shows. But what happens when they're movies, I ask?
Eren Yeager.
Animes are typically TV shows. You go on your favorite website, illegal or non-illegal. If you're a law-abiding citizen like myself, you use something like Funimation. I haven't loaded up this for like a long time, so I'm loading it up right now. I thought they were at war with these guys. What happened? They either had a truce or the war's on pause, because every time I click on the shop to buy my favorite anime figurines, I'm taken to the Crunchyroll site. From new to old and just whatever in between, there's plenty of anime movies out there, and they're becoming more and more popular because you have all these new popular shows, and now people are looking at them and seeing, oh, Demon Slayer did good in theaters, so we can do that too, huh? You got Jujutsu Kaisen doing it, Black Clover, One Piece, for crying out loud. One Piece has been around since the dawn of film itself. You would think they would have already done this at some point. I've never seen One Piece or Black Clover, so I can't really understand the hype that you guys are going through to watch your Berserk knockoff and then whatever One Piece is, man. But there's plenty of movies, and not just these new ones. There's stuff like Studio Ghibli, there's old movies like Cowboy Bebop, there's Evangelion movies, there's Naruto movies, and more Naruto movies. Oh, and more Naruto movies. There's also Berserk movies. I mean, just read the manga at this point. I did go see the Demon Slayer movie, and this one was actually not bad. It was my first time seeing an anime in the big screen and showing the world that I'm not scared to tell them I like Japanese cartoons. And it wasn't a terrible movie all in all. It was actually pretty decent. I enjoyed it. Me and my buddies loaded up in the car and drove 5 minutes to the local theater, and we went to go see Demon Slayer. And then we hopped in the car and we left the movie and just, yeah, that was it. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can really say about a Demon Slayer movie. It's just the show, but in a movie format. You're not seeing anything crazy. You're not seeing anything too out of the ordinary. They did have something very unique about it, and that was the Rengoku versus Akaza fight, and that one I really liked. That was probably the biggest highlight of the movie, but then again, that was everyone else's opinion, so why do you guys need to hear me say that? It's not like I liked the movie for something unique about it. I was like, oh yeah, Zenitsu is actually funny in this one.
Boy, if you don't get your squiggly diggly head.
I also went to go see Jujutsu Kaisen in theaters, and that was alright. It was actually, man, it was underwhelming. I was actually very excited because I saw all the trailers for this, and I was like, the show looks sick. Like, it's a sick show. I mean, it's awesome. It's so fun. And the movie, I was like, okay, cool. But the thing is, it's a prequel. And the problem with some prequels is that you're like, yeah, well, I know some of the characters don't die. And that's what kind of hurt this movie, because there wasn't really a whole hype, and how much hype they tried to build up through the whole movie, there wasn't really a whole lot they could do, because we were like, well, I know Gojo is not losing to this random guy with this cool hat on. And it was kind of cool, I guess, to see the new character and all, but I just didn't really care a whole lot. My whole theater got up and clapped when Gojo started beating this man up. It kind of felt racially motivated, I'm not gonna lie. My favorite movie of all time when it comes to anime has to be the Cowboy Bebop one, though. This one is awesome. But this one was actually pretty cool. It was really fun to see Cowboy Bebop in a movie setting, because this is one of the few animes that doesn't really follow a set plot. It's just kind of like whatever happens, happens. And this one, I liked a lot. It had one of my favorite villains out of all of Cowboy Bebop besides Vicious, and then it had some just cool stuff in it. I mean, it had an entire new soundtrack, which is one of the highlights of the entire Cowboy Bebop catalog, is always the soundtrack. I mean, listen to this. They got like 3 albums of this. They put a lot of attention to detail into the Cowboy Bebop movie, and I think it really made for an overall really awesome experience. Like, from the opening scene with Spike in the gas station to whatever, man, I don't even have any analysis on this. Oh, my old buddies over at Netflix. You keep raising the price on me, and I keep not watching anything on you. You know what would make me watch your shows? Maybe if you added a few thousand more Naruto and Berserk movies. Netflix has always been the home of useless things that no one wants to watch. There's been a ton of Naruto movies that have come out, and for some reason they still have not updated how Shippuden looked. Take all of the money you're putting into these movies or in the past, and you could have put that money into Shippuden and made it look a little bit nicer. The OG Naruto looks so much cleaner than Shippuden at times. I haven't seen any of the Naruto movies. In fact, I haven't even finished the Naruto manga. Berserk's one of those few ones that I feel like is best experienced as a manga. It's primarily a manga, and I think it has a good anime adaptation back in about the 1990s. It's a solid one. It's got some clean looking nostalgic animation, and it's really cool. The 2016 one we don't talk about. But in my opinion, Berserk, and that's cool if you like the animes for sure, I don't have a problem with that at all, but I think Berserk's one of the few things that is best experienced as a manga. That's my elitist take for the day. Thank you for listening. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't just like shooting guns, swinging swords, jumping off buildings, and cool explosions. I don't always like these things. I gotta be honest with you. I'm a fan of slice of life. Kinda. I've watched a few, dare I say, romance movies in my time, and I'm not afraid to say that they were some pretty good movies. Two in particular, Silent Voice and Weathering with You. I've only seen two. And I'm also a hypocrite because I think people should watch these, but I also have not seen that many. It's been on my watch list for about 50 years. These movies are really good though. I like them a lot. I was in my kind of early stages of watching anime, so I didn't want to really watch those, and I don't know how I forced myself to sit down and watch this, but I recently came back to it and I was like,
Hey, that's pretty good.
Silent Voice, I think, is really good. It is pretty sad, but I mean, I got a spot for those. I think they're pretty fun watches. I mean, in a way. Weathering with You's got some of the best animation I've also seen. It's really clean looking, just a very fun vibe in general. If you just kind of want to chill out and watch something like this, it's not anything crazy. The plot's all right. I mean, Silent Voice got a better plot, but Weathering with You, I'd say, is a strong watch. Nothing crazy, but it's got some cool animation. Characters are all right, and I mean, I don't know. It's just a feel-good story. You can't go wrong with it, really. Studio Ghibli kind of falls into the same category. It's also got the first anime that's ever won an award. I don't remember what award that is because I'd forget. Spirited Away is a Ghibli film that's one of the best of all time. I know they got classics like My Neighbor Totoro and some other ones like that, and I haven't seen a whole lot of Ghibli films, but from what I know, they always deliver some strong shows. They got some clean looking animation. I mean, it looks nostalgic but fresh at the same time. Like you don't see stuff like this every day. Like, it doesn't look mainstream is what I'm trying to say. Ghibli films just have such a special feel and vibe about them that not a whole other shows can encapsulate. Even Evangelion's got some movies. If people weren't confused by the show 50 billion times, you can be confused in a movie. You're paying to go to a theater to get confused out of your mind. Doesn't it sound like a bargain? Yeah, afterwards you can even skip theaters and go see another showing to see if you understand it. You're probably not gonna though. Alright, that's about all I gotta say about these movies. Funimation, update your website. Alright, we'll see you guys later.